From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to seek approval. As children, we crave it from our parents. As students, we hunger for it from our teachers. As adults, we chase it from friends, colleagues, and society as a whole. We are programmed to believe that our worth is determined by how much others accept and appreciate us. But what happens when that validation doesn't come? What happens when the approval we seek never arrives? Too many people live their lives as prisoners of external validation. They mold themselves into what they think others want. They say the right things, wear the right clothes, pursue the right career, and even suppress their true thoughts, all because they are terrified of being rejected. They live in fear of judgment, fear of not being liked, fear of being left out. But here's the problem. The more you live for validation, the further you drift from who you really are. Think about this. How often have you stopped yourself from saying what you truly think because you were worried about what others might say? How many times have you held back from making a bold move, from starting a new chapter, or from stepping into your own power because you were afraid of how people would perceive you? This is the trap. And this is the reason so many people feel exhausted, unfulfilled, and invisible. They are constantly shape-shifting, adapting, and pleasing, only to find that the world still doesn't give them the recognition they crave. But what if the entire equation was wrong? What if the key to being noticed, valued, and respected wasn't about seeking validation, but about stopping the need for it altogether? Let me give you a simple truth. The people who command the most respect, who are admired, who are sought after, they are not the ones begging for attention. They are the ones who don't need it. They are the ones who have mastered the art of internal validation. What does that mean? It means they no longer live for applause. They no longer adjust their personality to fit the room. They no longer shrink themselves just to make others comfortable. Instead, they have built their own foundation of self-worth. Their value is not determined by how many likes they get, how many compliments they receive, or how many people approve of their choices. Their value is self-defined. And the irony, the moment they stop needing validation is the moment they get it. Think about the people you admire most, the leaders, the influencers, the ones who leave a mark. They don't follow trends, they create them. They don't ask for permission, they make decisions. They don't wait for validation, they validate themselves. And because of that, people are naturally drawn to them. When you stop seeking validation, several things happen. You become more authentic. No more pretending, no more putting on a mask. You say what you mean, you do what you want, you show up as you. And that kind of honesty is rare. People can sense it, they respect it. You gain real confidence. Confidence isn't about being liked by everyone. It's about trusting yourself even when no one is clapping for you. It's about knowing that your worth is not up for debate. You attract the right people. When you stop trying to please everyone, the ones who truly align with you will stay, and the ones who only like the fake version of you will fade away, and that's a blessing. You free yourself from anxiety. Imagine waking up and not caring about what other people think of your choices. Imagine making decisions purely based on what you want. That's real freedom. You become magnetic. Here's the kicker. The moment you no longer need validation, people will start giving it to you. Why? Because you now radiate certainty. You now move with an energy that says, I don't need you to approve of me, and that's exactly why you want to be around me. The world respects those who respect themselves, and respect isn't given to those who beg for it. It's given to those who own who they are, unapologetically. Look around at your life right now, the relationships you have, the career you're in, the way you feel about yourself. Everything you currently experience is a direct reflection of what you've decided to tolerate. That's the truth. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you accept. If you've ever wondered why certain people seem to command respect, why some individuals attract great opportunities while others are stuck in cycles of mediocrity, the answer is simple. They have different standards. They refuse to settle for less than what they believe they deserve. Most people don't realize they're settling because it happens gradually. It starts with small compromises. A job that drains you but pays the bills. A friend who disrespects you but you let it slide. A relationship that makes you feel unfulfilled but you stay because it's familiar. Over time, these small compromises stack up, and one day you wake up wondering why your life doesn't excite you. It's because your standards determine your reality. Think about any area of your life where you're unhappy. Chances are it's not because you don't have options, it's because you haven't demanded better for yourself. And I don't mean demanding it from others. I mean demanding it from you. Take a moment and ask yourself, what kind of behavior have I been tolerating from others that I know is unacceptable? What kind of personal habits have I allowed that I know are keeping me stuck? What goals have I put off because I've been too comfortable playing small? The answers to these questions will reveal your standards. The difference between people who live extraordinary lives and those who live in frustration isn't luck, talent, or intelligence. It's the standards they hold themselves to. When you raise your standards, a shift happens. Your relationships change. You stop tolerating one-sided friendships. You stop entertaining people who don't respect your time. You no longer allow toxic behavior in your life. People who once took you for granted will suddenly notice that their old ways won't work with you anymore. Your self-worth increases. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. If you carry yourself like someone who deserves the best, the world will start reflecting that back to you. You no longer settle for mediocrity. Whether it's your career, your health, or your happiness, you start demanding more from yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop accepting good enough when you know you're capable of great. You start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. When you decide you won't accept anything less than excellence, the universe responds. You become more aware of doors that were always there but overlooked because you weren't ready to step through them. People respect you more. Respect isn't given to those who plead for it. It's given to those who command it by the way they carry themselves. The moment you raise your standards, people take notice. If you want to change your life, you have to stop tolerating the things that hold you back. That means letting go of what's comfortable but unfulfilling. That means saying no to things that don't align with your vision. That means refusing to be surrounded by people who don't inspire or support you. Because the second you demand better for yourself, everything around you starts to shift. Hesitation is the silent killer of dreams. It's the reason so many people live lives of quiet frustration, knowing deep down that they're capable of more but never stepping into it. Why? Because they're waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for permission. Waiting for someone to validate their choices. But the truth is, the people who create extraordinary lives don't wait. They don't second guess themselves. They don't seek permission. They move. They take action. And they do it without apology. What does it mean to take unapologetic action? It means you stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand your vision. It means you stop overthinking every decision and start trusting your gut. It means you stop shrinking yourself to fit into places you've outgrown. Most people live their lives in a constant state of hesitation. They think about starting that business but talk themselves out of it. They consider speaking up for themselves, but decide it's easier to stay quiet. They dream about making a bold move, leaving a job, moving to a new city, pursuing a passion, but they let fear talk them into staying where it's comfortable. But here's what they don't realize. Hesitation is a decision. Every time you hesitate, every time you delay action, you're making a choice to stay the same, and the world responds accordingly. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem to walk into a room and command attention, the ones who get what they want, who make things happen, who are respected and valued. They aren't necessarily the smartest or most talented, but they are the ones who move with certainty. People respect certainty. They respect decisiveness. They respect those who know what they want and go after it. And the irony, the moment you stop apologizing for your decisions, the moment you start moving with confidence, the world will take notice. People will start paying attention. They will wonder what changed. They will feel your absence when you no longer hesitate to walk away from things that don't serve you. Taking unapologetic action changes everything. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. When you take bold action, you don't have time for distractions. You don't engage in pointless drama. You don't waste energy on people who don't add value to your life. You break free from fear. Fear thrives in hesitation. The longer you wait to take action, the bigger your fears become. But when you start moving, when you take that first step, you realize that fear was just an illusion. You attract people who respect your drive. When you move with confidence, you naturally attract people who operate on that same level. You stop dealing with those who drain your energy and start surrounding yourself with those who inspire you. You no longer tolerate being overlooked. The reason some people are ignored or taken for granted isn't because they aren't valuable. It's because they don't act like they are. The moment you start taking action and owning your worth, people start seeing you differently. You stop regretting missed opportunities. Nothing haunts people more than the chances they never took, the things they wanted to do but never did, the words they wanted to say but never spoke. But when you start taking unapologetic action, regret disappears because you know you're living fully. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment to act, but the truth is there is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the moment you decide to move. One of the biggest reasons people feel stuck, frustrated, and powerless is because they are too attached to outcomes. They obsess over results. They crave certainty. They want guarantees that their efforts will pay off before they even begin. This obsession with control keeps them trapped. They hesitate to take risks in relationships because they fear rejection. They avoid making bold career moves because they fear failure. They hold back from speaking their truth because they fear judgment. They live in a constant state of what if? What if things don't go the way I planned? What if I put in all this effort and nothing changes? But here's the truth. The people who truly thrive, who are respected, who are missed when they're gone, are the ones who have mastered the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean not caring. It doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. It means you stop obsessing over what you can't control and start focusing on what you can. It means you stop placing your worth in other people's hands. It means you stop defining success solely by external validation. When you detach from outcomes, everything shifts. You regain your power. When you attach your happiness, confidence, or self-worth to a specific outcome, whether it's a job, a relationship, or approval from others, you give away your power. You become a puppet to things outside your control. But when you detach, you take that power back. You realize that your sense of fulfillment doesn't depend on one single thing. You become fearless in decision-making. People hesitate to make big moves because they fear failure. But when you detach from outcomes, you're no longer paralyzed by the fear of things not going perfectly. You make the decision, take the step, and trust that no matter what happens, you will be fine. You stop seeking validation. Attachment to outcomes is often just disguised attachment to approval. People want certain results because they think those results will earn them validation, whether it's from a boss, a partner, or society. But when you detach, you don't need that validation. You no longer look to others to tell you whether you're good enough. You become more attractive, personally and professionally. There's something magnetic about people who don't chase, who don't need constant reassurance, who don't grasp desperately for attention. When you detach, you become that person. People start noticing. They wonder why you're so calm, why you're so sure of yourself, why you don't react like everyone else. You experience real freedom. Imagine living your life without constantly worrying about what others think. Imagine pursuing your dreams without obsessing over every little detail. Imagine making decisions with confidence, knowing that you are not defined by any single success or failure. That's what detachment gives you. Freedom. Most people spend their lives trying to control things they were never meant to control, But the moment you let go of that need, when you stop gripping so tightly to outcomes, that's when you actually start winning.